Like sunbathers flocking to the beach, people flock to .coms, hoping to bask in the glow of a red-hot market. Over the past few years, startups rode the wave of free-flowing venture capital, while their employees subsisted on shallow benefit packages frothing with stock options.
Anything.com could go out and get $3, $4, $5 million in venture funding. And it was very easy at that time. There was what I call a lot of stupid money being thrown about.
The wave crashed in April with the stock market. .coms fell out of favor with investors, and the VC money dried up.
These are the dog days for one online seller of pet supply.
At least 76 .coms have capsized since January.
120 workers will clear out their cubicles for good tomorrow.
More than 22,000 .comers have lost their jobs.
Considering that the water has grown cold for .coms, starting one or even going to work for one now seems like a rather risky proposition.
That didn't stop Doug Landis from diving right in. He's adventurous by nature and not opposed to taking a tumble for a good cause. His company, Grant Connect, collects fees for helping nonprofits with fundraising.
It doesn't matter, so like, keep showing me double return. I always knew that I wanted to start my own company. It's kind of like, you kind of know certain things in life, and it's just one of the things that I knew.
Doug's partner, Jack Velkovich, was so certain about wanting to be part of a startup, he dropped out of college to help found the company.
Me being in business school was a joke. I mean, I would sit in classes and I'd be like, okay, at what point am I going to learn something new?
Grant Connect is Doug.
Like many startups, they have plans to conquer the world. But the reality is there's lots of hard work to be done first.
Jack, are these clean?
The guys at Grant Connect are literally living their dream. Work is where they spend most of their time, where they eat most of their meals, and where they do their laundry. The company rents a live workspace for $5,000 a month. Finding appliances and furniture to fill the office has turned out to be one of the least challenging aspects of starting a business. Their favorite place to shop? DownAndOut.coms.
And said, hey, I want to talk to somebody about buying your furniture because I hear you just laid off 40 people. Their reaction was kind of like, yeah, let me get somebody for you to talk to.
While Grant Connect's founders are happy to sit in the chairs of failed .coms, they have no intention of walking in their shoes. But they know the ride won't be a smooth one.
Some of the challenges we faced are investors questioning our business model, questioning our business plan, telling us they'd give us money, taking it back. We've been on, I know Jack and I have been on the verge of running out of money several times.
Finding money is, of course, one of the biggest difficulties facing startups. According to research firm Venture One, funding for .coms, both consumer and business related, dropped about a third last quarter, and the number of deals being done dropped to its lowest level since the second quarter of last year.
People are still willing to take risks, although they're being more cautious now than they were a few years ago.
Internet employers say people want more cold hard cash rather than stock options, and they're asking tougher questions.
I've had questions for a year of how much money you'd have in the bank, how long until you get another financing, are you sure you can get a financing, and those seem more aggressive now.
What were your responsibilities specifically?
Trust. Sure. That was a big thing.
Yeah, sure.
Back at Grant Connect, Ken Hensley is interviewing for a job. Just a few months ago, the internet company he founded ran out of money. Instead of looking for more secure employment, he's headed back to startup land.
What really attracts me to startups is the ability to shape something and create something from scratch. Because basically we're performing a customer acquisition.
While Hensley admits it's a risk with 2 children and a house payment to think of, he says the bigger risk is not to try.
I'd rather try something great and fail than try nothing at all.
It's an attitude shared by Grant Connect's founders, whether their startup proves to be a killer wave or just a swell.
If it happens, great. We're both very confident it will. But I'm also not afraid of failing either. I'm not afraid of making a mistake.
Even if they wipe out, they won't be washed out. Despite all the .com layoffs, the job market in Silicon Valley keeps on rolling. And for people with the desire to ride the startup wave, a crash just means the opportunity to get back up on the board and try again with a little more experience. Jennifer Arterburn, News Channel 11.